What's up, e-bikers? This is the new Aipas M1 Max dual suspension step 3 e-bike at an affordable price. It's next. Let's go. There's your M1 Max here from Aipas. Brand new e-bike from the company. It's kind of their budget all-terrain e-bike. It's got dual suspension. Comes in black, purple, this cyan blue, and green. And it's currently on sale for like under $1,200. Check the prices, they change. But very affordable e-bike here from Aipas. So let's check the specs and see what it has in store. Our rear hub motor back here is an unbranded 1,000 watt motor that peaks at 1,800 watts. They claim 110 newton meters of torque. We'll see about that. And it says rated up to handle up to a 23-degree gradient. So that's your rear hub motor back there, 1,800 watts peak, and we'll test that out with a speed test as well coming up. Your battery on this e-bike is a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery here. They say it's SGS certified to UL 2271 standards. That's 840 watt hours if you're counting at home here. This is where you plug in the bike for the charger, and also there's an on switch for the bike as well. So that line indicates it's on, the O means off. To remove the battery, pop in the key, turn it. It's going to release there, and then it hits this latch. Turn this latch, I guess. Let's see here. First time I'm doing this. Yep, it just pops right out. Reveals the battery. Battery weighs about 10 pounds. And there is a charge indicator on it right here. Let's see. Right there, as you can see. And again, there's your on and off switch. And that's it. Inside here is your battery well. It's where it plugs in. Your controller is in here as well. And there's your lock up top. And it does come with a 2 amp charger, so 0 to full in about 8.5 hours or so. This little flap here is a little bit of a challenge to get in sometimes. It likes to flap around out here, so first thing I've noticed so far out of the box. Now the claim range of this e-bike is about 86 miles. That's pretty ridiculous, so cut that in half. You know, on throttle, expect about 20 miles or so. And maybe with pedaling on PS2, you probably get around 40 miles out of this thing. Most of the e-bikes in this class are really more like 20 amp hour battery, so this has 17.5, so it's a little bit less. I'm basing it off my experience, just testing different bikes and ranges and stuff. So I'd say around 20 to 40 is what you're going to get throttle versus pedaling. Tires and brakes, we are rocking these all blacked out, generic and knobbies, 26x4 tires, of course. 20 PSI is recommended PSI in these things. They're puncture resistant. But they roll over anything. These are basically roll over anything kind of tires, and that's what you get here on the Aipas. Brakes down here, we have Star Union hydraulic brakes here. So hydraulic brakes are really nice. They have fluid in them, and they're basically, you know, much better stopping power, easier to stop with that fluid. And these are 180s on the rotors here, 180 millimeters for your stopping power right there. Here's your drivetrain here. I think it's a 46 tooth chain ring up front here. Got a nice chain. Shimano tourney derailleur, pretty basic back here, with a 14 to 28 tooth freewheel. So it might get some ghost pedaling on this e-bike, we'll see, especially with the smaller chain ring up there. But cadence sensor e-bike, I believe, with 5 levels of pedal assist. Let's talk size. And this e-bike weighs about 90 pounds, so it's definitely on the heavier side here. For you e-bikers out there. More of a big guy e-bike, or a tall person e-bike as well. You got that standover height over here. That's pretty high. It's probably about 18, 20 inches is your standover height right there. So keep that in mind. The frame itself, you can see here, it's got the weld marks in it. It's pretty glossy. The paint job's nice, but you do see the weld marks all the way around on this thing. Right here, right there, along here, down there on the frame. So keep that in mind. Payload, they say, is 500 pounds max capacity. And rider heights are 5'5" to 7'2". That's a pretty wide range on here, so you can raise that seat height pretty high. I'm 6 foot. I fit pretty good on it. The handlebars are not adjustable, but they are swept back handlebars, so you do get a little more of an ergonomic grip and posture with a set like these. One other note about the controller on this e-bike, which is located under here basically, once you take this battery out. It is a 48 volt, 37 amp controller equipped with automatic temperature control protection to stop the system from overheating during prolonged hill climbs there. So that's a pretty good size controller for a 1000 watt e-bike here, so that's nice. Here's a look at your cockpit on the right side. You got these just basic grips here, your twist throttle, your hydraulic brakes, that's your rear brake here. Shimano shifter, SIS shifter. There's your display, we'll come back to that. On the left side, same thing, grip. You got your light button here, you got your horn. You have turn signals as well for the rear. And here's your control pad, plus and minus, power, lights, and information. Pretty basic suspension up front here. Do you have lockout? Just one spot there to lock it out. Not sure what the travel is, probably around 50, 60 millimeters of travel on there. The rear suspension is over here. So it's basically built into the frame here under the seat post. And it actually is adjustable, so let me come around. You need a shock pump for this here, but you can, it's a 2,000 pound rear air shock right here. Just undo this here. Actually, I already let some air out to make it a little more bouncy. But this is where you fill it up right there, adjust it based on your weight. If you want, you can make it very bouncy. It's up to you. Let's take a look at that display here. Nice display. There are instructions right here for changing the settings to class 3 speeds. According to the company, this bike can go 36 miles per hour with that 1000 watt motor down there. So, but let me walk you through this here. You got your batteries up here, speed, of course, PS, and your trip odometer max average. Just use the I key to scroll through these. You've also got voltage right here, so I'm at 50.3 right now. It's about 70%. Amperage, back to trip, and that's what you get there. To go into the settings, you're going to hold down plus and minus, and there's your PS levels. I think I've already, let's see here, nope. Let's see, I want to go out. Okay. P08, 62 miles an hour. I changed it already. So you're just going to use that number there to bump it up. 62 is as high as you can go. And now we're unlocked class 3 speeds. So I forgot to show you the lights, so I'm turn that on. Let's see, there it is. And we got turn signals on this e-bike. There's none in the front though, right? No, there's none in the front. Here's the rear one. You also got a brake light back there. That's what it looks like. If I hit that brake light, yeah, it does blink. You can see my hand there. So, but I wouldn't say it's a very bright light overall, but better than nothing. And the rack back here is a pretty big rack as well. You got lots of space here. It's a good, gosh, it's got to be at least 20 inches long. So you can put a nice, let's make a good delivery e-bike, I think. You can put a nice big delivery bag back here, and a lot of space here to do some storage options there. So not bad. All right, let's go pop into the woods with this thing, see how it is off-road, since it is an all-terrain e-bike. Oh yeah, that shock is now nice and bouncy. Oh yeah. Let's put it in 3. Not a ton of torque off the line. Haven't had an Aipas in a while. Oh, this suspension is terrific. Because this is really bumpy in here. And it is sucking it up like a champ. Chain there. Yeah, this thing is super plush. I mean, yeah. I did not bounce around at all in there. I was like planted in that seat. Let's do it again. A little mud here. I mean, the bike shook more than me on that one. Yeah, this suspension is really good. Here's the real test on this rocky part. Oh, yeah. Excellent. All right, we know we can conquer the off-road there for sure. I know it was a quick test, but that's for time today. So let's go do some speed test on this thing, put some miles on it, and see what else I can do. All right, let's do a couple of speed tests here. This is a slight downhill, but I want to see how fast I can get it. We're fully charged now. Okay, there's 30 on the phone, 36 on the bike, 32 on the phone, and that's about it. And that was with a slight downhill. I'll test it on a little bit of a flatter surface next. So stay tuned. Brakes seem well, and the ergonomics are pretty good too. I feel pretty upright, and just struck back handlebar system. The motor's not overly noisy, so I appreciate that. Let's see how it does crossing the street on throttle. So this is one of my tests. I don't feel 110 Newton meters of torque on this bike, that's for sure. So I'm a little dubious about that claim. But I'm digging the suspension so far. That guy had a sign in the window there. It's an Italian style. Just across Main Street. This supposedly has more torque than that Hinox Trooper X. And that bike lifts off the front tire, lifts off the front ground when you hit it. So but this bike is heavier and it's got bigger tires. Alright, that was solid effort across the street there with the throttle. A little bit of wobble there. Whoa. I don't know where the wobble comes from since there's no weight in the rear rack back there. But it's a budget e-bike, so can't expect everything. Throttle only run, flat course. It's definitely off by about 4 miles an hour. On the phone, 34 on the bike, 29. And running out of room here, 30 miles an hour on the phone, 35 on the bike. All right. Let's pedal, see what that does. Power comes on gently. It ramps up. Almost like that squirrel. 30 on the phone. I have resistance in the pedals. But yeah, same result on there. I might have squeezed 31 out of it on the phone. If I had a little more runway here. But, let's go do a hill test. All right, here's my hill test. Do throttle only. Climbing as we should be here on this stretch. 16 miles an hour. 14 on the phone. Picking up speed here, doing 19.8 in the phone, 19.8 in the bike, 17 in the phone. Here's where it gets steeper. Drop the gears down a little bit. And okay, we're at 13, 12 on the phone. Holding steady over there. Moderately pedal. 11 on the phone. It looks like we're at crest right there. 11, 12 miles an hour on the bike. So, solid result. Nothing spectacular. Not sure. Didn't really feel 1,800 watts there, so I don't know. All right, let's do a little downhill coast here. See what kind of speeds we can hit here. See how stable it is. Everybody's mowing today, Saturday. Oh, the horses are out. Let's check them out first. We got 2 horses right there. What's up, fellas? Those are good looking horses. I think these are the only horses in my town. Alright, let's continue this here. We'll test the brakes at the end down here. Oh yeah. All that weight's picking up speed here. 35, 30 on the phone. I'm just coasting here. I'm not using the motor at all. So 33 on the phone, 34 on the phone. With those brakes. Oh yeah, those Star Unions, really good brakes. Digging it. I can ride it with no hands, but it's definitely a little bit off in the balance. I don't know why, but it's a long bike, I guess. All right, let's talk about likes and dislikes for the Aipas M1 Max. All right, so let's see here. Dislikes, number 1, this flap over here. I think I need to take out the battery and see if I can fix that. It's got some basic grips on here, pretty cheesy. It's got, it's not 36 miles an hour and it's not 110 newton meters of torque. There's no way. I just do not feel that in the power of that motor back there. But it will go about 30, 31, 32, depending on which speedometer you trust. I trust the phone more than the bike. A lot of times these bikes are set that the wheel size is incorrect. You can, if I just pick up the kickstand and throttle it, yeah, it'll go 36, but that's with no weight on it. So, what else I don't like? Not much else. What do I do like? The shock is the star of the show. That thing is awesome. You get a nice, it's like a rocking chair. The front shock is average, if I'm being honest there. The seat's actually pretty nice as well. Nice and cushy. I wouldn't imagine needing to change that out. Nice big rack back here for lots of storage. The brake signals are pretty weak. It's not very bright, I don't think. Another negative. Good brakes. The gearing is actually not that bad. Thought I'd have more ghost pedaling than I did. So that's a good thing. I like the whole blacked out tire look. This front shock is pretty basic. Nothing to write home about. Same with the light. A lot of cables up here. What else? The battery itself, 17.5. As I mentioned earlier, bikes in this class tend to have more like 20 amp hours. So that's going to drop your range down a little bit. And that's about that. And the price is great as well. For under 1,200 bucks, you actually get a lot here for the money. So I think Aipas did a nice job with this. Comes in green, purple, and black. I would go with the green if I had a choice. Not the cyan blue, but you know, the well, you can see all the wells on it everywhere. So tend to be a little cheaper manufacturing process there, I guess. But overall, pretty solid bike for the money, those. So let me know what you think, guys. Drop a note in the comments there. I'll see you next ChrisCrossed. I'm out of here.